Let's continue our journey, Free Heart, the Art of Peace. In the first videos, you can listen to the introduction to this journey, to this course. It's to learn to know yourself in the light of God. God who heals, God who enlightens, God who set us free. Today, we're gonna do a very important step. It's the step of the feelings. In a journey of inner pacification, it's so important to listen to our feelings and to deal with them in an intelligent way, in an illuminated way, and we will discover how Jesus deals with our feelings. We can take a passage of the Gospel. It's a very famous passage. The passage is Luke, chapter 24, verses 13. Now that very day, two of them were going to a village 7 miles from Jerusalem called Emmaus. That's the famous passage of the disciples of Emmaus. And what are they doing? They were conversing about all the things that happened, and it's written, it happened while they were conversing and debated. Jesus himself drew near and walked with them, but their eyes were prevented from recognizing him. It's very interesting. The text speaks about conversing and then conversing and debating. The English text is trying to translate a Greek nuance in the original text. There's a kind of anger within them while they are talking each other. They are angry, or there's a kind of disappointment. It's easy to imagine that they had followed Jesus, they had trusted in him, and now everything seems destroyed. It seems that everything came to an end, and they feel disappointed. You can think about that. You can think at an experience that you lived in which you felt disappointed, in which you felt that anger. What does Jesus? Anger is a very important feeling. We will deepen also how we can deal with our anger in a constructive way. What is now interesting for us is the attitude of Jesus. Jesus comes near to them and Jesus asks a question. The question is, what are you discussing as you walk along? They stopped, says the Gospel, looking downcast. It's very interesting. So Jesus asks an open question. What are you talking about? That's an open question, and this question is an opportunity for them to contact a sadness that is, we can say, behind or in the anger that they feel. That's the same for us. We can feel anger. That's okay, that's important. We will discover the importance of anger. At the same time, it's often possible that in our anger or together with our anger or behind our anger, there's a feeling of, for example, sadness that we haven't really contacted within us. So Jesus asks a question, an open question, and that question is an opportunity for them to listen deeper into them. They feel the sadness and they start to telling their own story. Because that question is an invitation to tell the story, to tell deeper, to tell the perception of their own story. So, what does that mean for us? That's the content of today. Our feelings are normally connected to a perception, a narration of a situation that you experience of a reality within us, around us. They are connected in that sense to a story in the sense of the narration of our story. And it's very important to recognize the narration, the thoughts that are linked to our feelings. I make an example. You can think about a moment in which you experienced, for example, anger. Maybe someone told you something sad or something not respectful, or that you perceived as something not respectful, and you felt anger. And sometimes we try to manage our anger, and we say, no, I don't have to get so angry, and so on. The invitation is to to deal with your anger from another perspective. You can really think of Jesus, who asks you this question: what are you talking about? What's your perception of the situation? If you really give space to yourself, you could really feel surprised, because a lot of very deep things could come up. For example, you could say, oh, I feel that this word is touching the sense of my value. It's not easy for me to contact my value after that word, even though I feel that that word is not true. But that's important, because that means that this listening to you helped you to contact a difficulty in perceiving your value. It can also happen that if you try to listen to that question, what are you talking about, also in yourself, or you can say, what am I thinking about? You could also feel that together with the angry, there's something maybe deeper, maybe a sadness. Oh, I feel sad because, for example, or it's not important to use the key of because. The importance is the key of narration. We will see that, and it's not always important to try to use a kind of logical thinking. It's a kind of narration. I feel sad, and in that sadness that's the fact that I feel sad because I have the perception that my relationships always fail, and so on. When we try to do this kind of task, there are normally two extremes. The first extreme is that we enter a kind of hyper-analysis of our feelings. That's a risk, every feeling. What do I feel? I don't know. And sometimes we feel a little bit angry because we are tired. In any case, that's a content too. The other risk is that we don't listen to our feelings, and especially to those emotional experiences that are connected to a perception. We will see how it is important to listen to the perceptions that we have within us, perceptions about ourselves, about others, about a situation, because if we recognize and listen to them, we can also let us to make a kind of discernment. Some perceptions are maybe according to the truth, but some perceptions are distorted, and we need to listen to them so that we can really discern within our perceptions. When we do not do that, our perceptions can influence us, the way we see, the way we behave.